What's up everyone, I'm River Fox, welcome back to the channel. Now in case you weren't aware, I do regularly check my comments for all of my videos, even ones dating back from 2 years ago from the game I don't play anymore. I will still read the comments on a daily basis and I do reply to as many as I can. Now yesterday I did get a message from Tamsin who was asking if I could do a video to help out with the Wolf of the North challenge. And the Wolf of the North is one of the harder boss fights that you have in Genshin Impact. It is by no means a quick, easy kill, and it is going to take you some considerable time to be able to complete this challenge. There are quite a lot of strategies that you can do in the game, so hopefully by the end of this video today, it's going to give you some ideas, some tips on how to defeat that Wolf of the North. Now, my gameplay will be showing in the background. It is by far nowhere near a faultless run by any means, but hopefully at least it's going to give you some ideas, some tips on how to complete this challenge. So the Wolf of the North, it is a cryo boss, which means it is an ice boss. So for that you are going to need to have electro and pyro heroes, which are electric and fire heroes. So as long as you have got some pretty decent heroes with electric and fire, then you should be able to do pretty okay with this fight. Now the first thing that you are going to want to do is, if you have Fischl, I would recommend Fischl as the main hero, because there are 3 stages to this fight, and the first stage is pretty much a case of getting in a load of shots, dodging out of the way as he charges at you, and then getting in more damage again. And you do want to try and keep your distance from him, because the further away you are, the more time you're going to have to react when he charges, because he will suddenly charge and you've got to be really quick to get out of his way, otherwise he will do some phenomenal damage to you. So I do use Fischl as my main. I do have Zhangling in there as well, which is only for if I can get close enough to be able to place the Ted down, and once you've placed the Ted down, then it can do a bit of damage, distract him for a few seconds while you can get some more damage off with the Fischl and the bow. I do also use Barbara in my loadout, which although she is a water hero, she's not in there for the damage, she's in there for the healing. So as long as you have any form of healer in your loadout, which you can quickly switch back and forth to, then you can try and keep your health up. Because this wolf fight is pretty powerful, and it can do amazing damage. If you haven't leveled your heroes up properly, then you can literally be taken out with one single hit from the wolf. So it's a good idea to have some form of healer in there. Now another thing to mention as well, it is a good idea to take some food in with you just in case. I did on this particular run, I did have to use that a few times just to regenerate my health up, because I was a little bit slow. It was a bit late. It was kind of almost midnight last night when I done this gameplay, so it was a bit late. I was a bit slow on the mark and took a fair bit of damage from this wolf. So it's a good idea to take some food with you. If you've got any other foods that give you some crit rate and defense damage, then I would definitely recommend taking them every so often as well, because they will definitely help you in your fight. So once you have got past the first stage of the wolf fight, which is probably around about halfway damage, once you get him down to about halfway, then he is going to change and go into phase 2. Now on phase 2, This is a stage where he pretty much will keep circling around the area, and every so often will stop and charge directly at you and then carry on circling around. Now, you can try and get off some quick pot shots on him and do a little bit of damage when he does stop, but you are going to be very limited on what time you've got between him stopping and charging. And sometimes when you're firing those shots, it might prevent you from getting out of his way quick enough, and he can do some amazing damage to there. So it's entirely up to you if you want to try some quick shots on there or not. Once you get past the second stage, it will go into the third phase of his fight then, and this is the more tricky one to complete. Whereas the first stage and the second stage, you want to try and be as far away from him as possible. On the third stage, you want to try and keep in relatively close. Not too close that he's going to be able to attack you, but the closer that you are, hopefully will prevent him from doing one of his special moves that he does in the third stage. Because on the third stage, you've got a few different variants of moves that he can do. One of them is he's going to chuck these ice crystals down, which if they land on you, will freeze you on the spot. He's also got this big sort of ice circle around the outside of the area. If you stand in that, that's going to cause you damage as well. So you want to try and keep off of those. But he also sends out like these ice lasers directly towards you. Now, depending on how close you are to him will depend on which kind of ice laser he sends out. There is one which will completely go straight forward, and there is another one then that will basically be like three lasers. I call them lasers, and not really lasers, but ice blasts. There will be three ice blasts that will go directly towards you, and they give you a really small kind of gap in between them in order to get out of their way. Again, if you get hit by one of them, they can pretty much take you out really, really quickly. So it's a good idea to try and keep closer to him. Use your fire abilities if you can to do some close damage while you're there. Come back, use your fischl again then in order to do your shots. I found on the later stage, because of the shortness of time you have between him doing his different abilities, that the long charged bow shots aren't as good to do. I mean, if you got the time to do them without getting hit, then they're going to do a lot more damage. But it can be a lot better just to do lots of quick, rapid, normal bow hits rather than a charged hit, because you're going to get a lot better response time then to be able to quickly run out of the way of his damage. And that is pretty much what you need to do. Now, it sounds a lot easier on paper than it does actually doing that, and I do understand that. I'm no expert at this in completing him. I have completed him solo. You can, by all means, you can go in and do this in a co-op mode as well. The only issue with that, if you are doing it with other players, is it then limits how many characters you can have, how many heroes you can have in your own loadout. So if you're relying on your fischl and your Barbara for healing, and you're in a co-op mode with 3 other people, then it's going to limit you to 1 hero. So you're only going to have your fischl. So make sure you've got plenty of health food with you, and crit food and defense food, things that you can quickly whip into your inventory, take some quick food, regenerate a little bit of health to carry on. And that is pretty much it with the Wolf of the North. It's going to take a lot of practice to be able to perfect it and master where his moves are going to be, where his abilities are going to come. But once you have mastered it, it can be a relatively quick fight to do. Now, I have gone in, I have done this once with a friend of mine, and she absolutely slaughtered him. I mean, I got taken out pretty early on and had to respawn. Because I was in co-op mode, when I respawned somewhere else, so I had to get back to the fight, and literally by the time I got back to the fight, he was pretty much dead anyway. So it can work out in both co-op and in solo. I'm just a stubborn old git, and I prefer to do things in solo because I like to be able to say that I've done it and I've mastered it. But if you need to, then always, put in for that co-op mode. There is bound to be somebody else that will join in your game and help you out with this mission. So I hope this does help you out. I will, by all means, when I get a lot better and a lot quicker at completing this challenge, I will do an updated video on this. But I hope it does help you out anyway and give you some help and tips for this challenge. If it does, don't forget to hit that like, smash that subscribe, turn on the notification bell. You can always follow me on Twitter, Discord and Twitch, and I do stream quite regularly, so do come and check me out over there. But until the next time, I hope you have great success with the Wolf of the North, a lovely day, and stay safe, my friends.